Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the first 10 minutes of D&D charades. Cal, you fixed it. What did you do, Cal?
Oh no! What did you do?
Callum, no, what did you do? Okay,
Callum's muted, apparently.
You're still mute.
Also, apparently I'm shouting. I promise I'm not shouting. I'm just... My mic
yeah.
is just very loud. I put it further away from my mouth.
Callum, you're doing this stream as a mime. It's fine. This is your...
We need
This
to
is
fix
your
Billie's
bardic
loudness.
challenge to become a mime. You're coming into the school of mimes, and you'll be going through it. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to you. You're now a mute bard. You must now mimic everything.
Billie can't talk either because she's too loud, so she's got to be mute.
Can I just whisper?
Oh,
You did.
can,
So
yeah.
Billie has to whisper. So Billie's doing an ASMR stream. Me and Rach are fine. Callum can't be heard. That was Billie. That's quite nice. You're DMing now.
I can't because I will laugh too loud.
Okay, this is what we do from now on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Session 0, episodic weekly Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Improvised entirely around adventures that I've written.
ASMRPG.
Allow me to introduce you to our fantastic team. We have... It's nothing on any of our own streams, because I'm not that one.
Oh, people can hear me now.
And you're back. Yes, we've got sound.
Can you hear others?
But we can hear Callum. Can you hear me?
Alright, everyone speak once. Callum, go.
Ah.
Alright, Billie, go.
Yay!
Josh, go.
I am
No.
still here.
That was loud, wasn't it?
Okay, everyone
Sorry.
else should be fixed now.
Everyone but Callum. They're quiet now.
But
we
Callum's...
can hear you.
Hang on. We can hear you, all of you. Volume is low. All sounds soft. Callum, you know when you change the focus of the camera?
Yeah.
Or even the health bar, does that change any of the sound
I've
settings?
not touched any of that so far. So, this is fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a deeply experimental Dungeons and Dragons session where we break the fourth wall by occasionally just muting ourselves.
Yeah.
We are experiencing some technical difficulties, but we will do it. We're learning together. We will do our best to improve for you. Leave it, it's fine.
Okay,
I
think
had
it's
a
fixed.
whole adventure written. You guys hear Callum?
Hello, hello.
Okay. I had a
Should
whole
be good.
adventure written, but I think that the guys have discovered the sign is a mimic. That wasn't expected. Right, ladies and gents, welcome to Session 0, a completely professional, always ready, weekly episodic Dungeons and Dragons adventure featuring myself, Josh Strife Hayes, as your Dungeon Master, and three fantastic YouTubers and friends as players. Rage Darling, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your character.
Hello, my name is Rage. I play a barbarian called Rage. She is a hot-headed, smacking, violent fanatic who is currently learning to civilize herself amongst normal people. We'll put it that way. She has headbutted a man. She has done other questionable activities. Who knows what's going to happen?
Excellent. If all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail, and Rage does have a big hammer to smack things with, doesn't she?
She does, yes, a very large hammer.
Fantastic. And Billie, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are playing?
Yes, so... oh yeah, that's way too loud. Sorry. So, I am Sourceress Tricks. I am learning to discover all these new fun magic tricks that I have. They don't always go to plan, but I'm doing my best to learn and figure out new things. My favourite is Fireball, so you can catch me trying to cast that at some point today. Yeah, and I'm just really enjoying bonding with my party members, especially last session. We had a really good kind of moment where Rage actually came back and saved me, and it was just really nice.
And you even learned a new spell last session, didn't you?
Oh my god, yes, you're right, I did. I did,
You
the
learned
shield.
The cool shielding spell. Even though every section is episodic and you don't need to have caught every session for it to make sense, there will be small callbacks to previous adventures and things that you guys end up noticing, NPCs or spells that get brought back again. Now, last week we had special guest Mr. Greggles on doing all of the behind-the-scenes technical stuff. All of that responsibility has now been taken over by Callum. So Callum is not only a player, he is also the behind-the-scenes tech and sound guy. So Cal, why don't you tell us about your player first?
Yeah, so my player, I am the Barbarian. Not the Barb. Yeah, I am the Bard. Sorry, this has fuzzed my mind. So what I was going to say is I am
Did you just say you're the Barbarian?
No, I definitely didn't. I am the Bard, and I am supposedly really good with sound, but apparently not, as we've just found out. Yeah, I'm finding my way. I'm getting used to the group and my allies. I've now got an axe, which is wicked. Yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty stealthy,
And while you're playing, you're also going to be doing some technical stuff. What will you be doing technical behind the scenes wise while the game is happening?
So, now that I've closed OBS and I'm reopening everything, I will be changing the health bars on the fly. I will be updating all of that as it's happening, and also changing the focus of the cameras for, whoever's the main part right now. In theory, if I can get this to work.
Excellent. So Cal has a huge job of stuff to do in the background. I'm going to try and make this go as smoothly as we can. If it goes smoothly, it'll be a great adventure. If it doesn't go smoothly, it'll be a great adventure. We're going to have a good time regardless of what happens. It's just going to be an interesting time. Now, I need to find where the adventure was written down because my book is now just full of charades things that I specifically wrote. The sign being a mimic, roll for eating, help, I need help.
Chat's asking have I got bucket noises. To clarify, I will not be live DJing this. That is one thing that will not be happening. But I will be running the regular...
I can remember the adventure I wrote down. I kept moving all the pages to
Oh
find
my goodness.
Don't worry, guys. It's okay. We're going to get there. You enter a village. There is a sign outside the village. Would any of you like to read the sign?
What does the sign say?
It says help.
Nice.
I need help. And then underneath it's signed Harold Elp.
I asked the sign, what do you need help with?
Roll a d20.
An 18.
The sign is an inanimate object, and yet somehow it seems to have some kind of cognate thought that it projects through to you. And without writing any more on it, you should head to the Explorers Guild of Baragost. I found the page. You think that right now the Explorers Guild of Baragost is a really good call. They might need some help.
Alright guys,
Billie,
the Explorers Guild of Baragost.
Did you just talk to that sign?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It told
Do
me
you need
that
to sit down?
The Explorers Guild of Baragost is where we
The
should be
sign
going.
told you? Uh-huh. If you wanted to go, you could have just said. Alright.
Callum, how are you feeling about all of this?
My mind is just a bucket of mush right now. I'm not thinking much at all, to be honest. I'm wondering if they need help over by the washing machine that I can hear.
Oh yes, the good old washing machines. I've heard those too.
Yeah, dangerous beings.
Rage. For some reason you are both someone's just pointed out Rage's character, the highest strength, the highest constitution, the highest intelligence. You're basically a god. That's why you spoke to a sign.
Yeah, I am the best player. Thank you for noticing. It only took
Excellent.
you 17 episodes.
Excellent. So, you have decided to go to the Explorers Guild of Baragost because a sign psychically told you that would be a good thing to do.
Yes.
The town of Baragost is a lovely town. Clean streets, safe. Why is that funny? It just said clean streets and safe.
Someone said that the washing machine thought they meant to be wind noises.
They're not wind noises. There's just a washing machine in the... Yeah, they're wind noises. the windy town of Baragost. You explore the windy town of Baragost, known for having psychic signs and an explorers guild that occasionally leave notes on said signs. Rage, have you ever worked with the Explorers Guild or wanted to be an explorer before?
I've explored a couple of
Finish that sentence, Rage.
dark holes in my past. But they weren't as nice and bright as this windy place. They weren't as windy either.
So this is a better windy hole.
It's a better hole.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Billy, have you explored anywhere?
Do you know what? I feel like we've done a lot of exploring recently. Like, we don't need any explorers guild. We're adventurers. Surely, like, that's like prime rivalry, isn't it? That's like, I don't know. Maybe they're taking all of our quests.
Okay, well, they need your help. There's a sign that said help, and it psychically told Rage. Callum, have you ever explored around?
I have. I've done a lot of exploring in my past. Enchanted forests mostly. Beautiful places. Get a bit boring after a while though, so I'm up for something new.
Well, as you walk through the windy, safe streets of Baragost, you eventually see a large sign outside the Explorers Guild, which says on it in lovely gold gilded lettering, Explorers Guild. The building is quite ornate. Marble columns out the front, gold edging around the place, even a guard standing outside with a little halberd and a little helmet on. And he just looks at you and kind of nods. They're not really expecting any trouble in this town. There's nothing ever that goes wrong. You can walk inside if you want to, or you can have a chat with the guard. Rage, what would you like to do?
How tall is this guard?
It's 5'10".
Oh, that's sad. I'm
Why?
gonna go because he's short.
Oh no.
Okay, the average height guard, the absolutely average height guard, actually slightly taller when you get close, 6 foot guard, is
Right,
standing
okay.
out the front.
Okay. Well, back in my village, all the guards are like 6+.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go over to this guard and I'm gonna be like, "How's the weather down there?"
You're gonna say, "How's the weather down there?"
Yep.
to the guard with a halberd standing outside.
Yes.
Okay. Feel free to roleplay that conversation. I'll be the guard.
Right. How's the weather down there?
Down where? We're roughly the same height.
You must be mistaken. You are much smaller than I.
I see. Oh, yes. Yes, you joke and you jest. Oh, very funny. I see. Can I help you at all?
Yeah. We're looking for a dude.
I mean, there's an inn just down the road over there. The Spunky Bucket. If you want to go in there and find a man.
I love me spunky buckets. Yay!
Oh.
And I run towards the spunky bucket.
Okay. Billy. You've just seen Rage walk up to and insult the guard and then run off toward an inn down the road. How are you doing?
I'm just in shock of what on earth is she doing today. I don't know even if... I'm convinced that she didn't even talk to the guard, actually. I think she's just talking to objects and then running away today. I'm just going to try and chase after her because I'm just worried. I'm worried for her stability.
You're going to run after her toward the Bucket Inn. I see. Callum, you've just seen Rage walk up to a guard, insult him, and then run off at quite some speed toward an inn down the end after Rage said, "I'm looking for a man," and then the guard pointed toward an inn or a pub, and Rage ran away.
Yeah.
And Billy's following them away. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm not a fan of spunky buckets, so I'm gonna just hang back and see how this plays out for them. I want no part in the spunky bucket.
The guard even leans forward and looks at you. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm absolutely great. How about you? Just
I'm
guarding,
fine. Can I
are
help
we?
you with anything? You seem to be new. Is there anything you're looking for in this town?
Well, we saw a sign that said help. We need help. Would it be you that needs help?
Yes, the Explorers Guild. They are in a bit of a pickle. If you head inside and speak to Harold, the lead explorer, he will tell you more about what they need.
Pickle in the spunky bucket. Okay. Let's do that then. I can't see anything going wrong there.
Rage, you have ignored the plot hook and decided to run toward the inn, the Spunky Bucket, as you have been you're in search of a man, and you've been told you can find one here. You run toward this inn. It's a run-down looking place. The door's hanging off the hinges, rusted on the outside. Even the sign is half falling off. It's a bucket that's snapped in two, made of wood. What are you thinking as you approach this building?
I need to find a man.
Right. When you approach the building, is that the only thought filling up your mind?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to slowly open the door, or just run in, burst through, just shoulder first, and just explode into the inn?
I am going to run head first, shoulder barge it open, stand with my hammer in my hand, and go, I'm looking for a man.
Roll a d20.
Oh, no.
9.
9.
9.
It's not the most graceful. In fact, what actually happens was you run forward, you smash through the door with your elbow, splinters of wood go flying, a few stick into you and hurt you, so please roll a d4.
Oh no. 1.
Please take 1 point of damage from splintering yourself on this door as you charge through. You stumble in after having smashed through the door, and you stand up and you simply don't say all the words you were thinking, but instead say, I'm a man. The other clientele inside the bar look around. You notice that they're quite strong, bulky people. A few of them wearing guards' uniforms, a few of them wearing red capes down their back. These look like capable warriors in here, and you've just burst in and shouted, I'm a man. Billy, you've seen Rage do this. How are you doing?
Oh, what are you... Oh, not again. After she does this, I'm just going to come up to her and just try behind her and just try to, like, coax her away from the pub. But you can't just walk into a place and say that you're after a man. I don't know if you've looked, but there's many. We know who we're after. The sign told you, apparently.
I forgot. I have small brain. It goes in and out.
Okay,
I
well,
told you specifically so you'd remember this thing. I'm trying to find the man.
Okay, well, let's ask someone if they're Harold.
You. And I gesture towards the
When you
nearest
say you,
man.
who are you pointing at?
Any man. That's
Anyone in the bar.
me.
Rage, roll a d20.
11.
11. You say, pointing to nondescript generic NPC number 2, who's sitting on a table next to you. Very standard-looking guy. You point at him and you say...
Are you Harold?
Am I Harold? What?
You Harold?
Enunciate.
Are you Harold?
Harold? Who's Harold?
Harold. Harold, man. I put the sign on the back and said I needed help. So
With
now
a
I'm here looking for Harold.
H.
That's what I said. Harold.
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 She means Harold. Are you
said
Harold? Please say you're Harold.
I said Harold. I said
No,
Harold.
I'm not Harold. Is she okay? Do we need to call someone?
Yeah, Harold.
Oh, the guy that works at the Explorers Guild.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yeah. Where can we find him?
The man leans forward and points out the door that you bust off its hinges down to the building you were at. He works in the Explorers Guild.
Oh, my God. Of course he does.
Ah, yes.
So
That,
sorry.
that makes
That does
so
ring a
much
bell.
sense.
In fact, from what I remember, the Explorers Guild are looking for help. They've even left some signs, psychic signs, around the place, telling people that they're looking for help.
Well,
Why didn't you help?
yep.
Why didn't what?
Why didn't you help?
I'm part of the City Guard.
Exactly.
This isn't a City Guard issue. This is an Explorers Guild issue, and they can work it out with the Adventurers Guild. We're not getting involved in their wizardy stuff.
Oh, there's too many guilds.
Wait. There's 2 guilds?
There's
Yeah, they're like
multiple.
our biggest rivals. Hello?
Guys, we should work with the Explorers Guild. I think we should go
They'll
home.
have money.
No, we
Come
should
on.
go home. No.
Do you want money?
No.
I can buy you a new slug.
I want money.
Come on, I'll get you a new slug.
What kind of slug?
Callum jumps
You can have
in with
whatever
the
you want.
I want money. A few of the other guys who were drinking have stopped to watch the kind of chicanery that's going on, where there's clearly a rather slow barbarian trying to work out if someone's arrelled, a sorceress trying their best to translate, and a bard just bothered about the money. And the barman is looking angrily over at the door that's been smashed off the hinges. He hasn't said anything yet, but you can tell he's going to.
We should go.
If
I just
I'm a
walk.
slug, yeah. Okay, fine.
You leave the bar. You leave the spunky bucket. Rage, you have been told by a psychic sign and a man in a pub that maybe you should go and speak to Harold, the lead explorer, at the Explorers Guild that you passed on the way in. What are you thinking about that?
Well, it took me a while to remember that's what the sign said. But now I know where to go. So...
Billie, how are you feeling about this?
More confident that we're now going all in the correct direction.
Excellent. Cal, how are you feeling?
I'm just here for the ride at this point. I'm trusting these two to find our way. It's been a long week. My brain's not fully there, but I trust them.
hungover.
As
Yeah.
you walk back down, you see the same guard standing outside the same Explorers Guild that you passed on the way in, and as he sees you, Rage, he kind of raises up onto his tiptoes a little bit and puffs out his chest and tries to appear slightly taller. Is that the noise you want to make toward him?
Mm-hmm.
Roll a d20.
9.
9. It's more of a brrr thing. He doesn't quite get what you're going for, but he knows that you're trying to communicate in some way. Billie, do you wish to continue speaking to this guard, or do you want to go into the building?
No, I'm going to go straight into the building. I want nothing to do with what's happening there.
You walk straight into the building. Callum, are you following Billie or Rage?
I'm following Billie at this point. I think
Come on,
it's a higher chance of survival.
You walk into the Explorers Guild. Lovely marble and gold ornate building. Lovely oaken desks in the front. Beautiful entrance hall. And as you walk in, a man behind one of these desks looks up and greets you. Ah, lords, ladies, good evening. How may I help you?
Well, we saw your sign. You're looking for help. And, the Adventurers Guild, we thought, we'd come and actually help you out. Cause
Oh, you're from the Adventurers
we
Guild.
need it.
Fantastic. That is excellent to hear. We do need it. Harold will be very pleased to know that finally we can get rid of whatever the hell that thing was. Right, head down the hall, turn left, and head into the second room with the big, heavy blue door.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
No problem at all. The man goes back to writing a few names and a few books behind the actual desk that he's on. Rage, you've just watched Billie have this lovely interaction with a receptionist. How are you feeling?
He said lady, and I'm getting flashbacks to the last time I had to pretend to be a lady. So that's in my head now.
That
and
was
as I
when you were at
leave,
the party, wasn't it?
I just want to say, peasants.
Roll a d20.
Oh no. 9. 6.
9.
6.
The man looks up.
I can't count.
The man looks up. Pheasants! Yes! Yes, there's lots of them this time of year. And then goes back to writing in his book.
Mm-hmm.
Callum, you've just watched Billie get some useful information and Rage call a man a peasant.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Not confident. I've got to be honest. This isn't seeming to be going our way. So I just want to, just keep close to Billie and pretend I'm not with Rage.
Hey.
I see. People are annoyed that Rage's dice box is slightly askew, but I don't want her to change it.
Here's the thing, right?
Billie, you follow the directions correctly, manage to walk through the ornate halls of the Explorers Guild until eventually you turn left into a blue door. It's a largish room, and inside there are several people standing around. There is a table in the centre of the room with a black cloth covering what looks like a box. You can see where the square would be if it was a case underneath, but you can't see what's in it because of the black cloth covering over the whole thing. As you walk in, a man's head turns to look at you. I'm sorry, this room is closed to the public.
We are not the public. We're here to help with your whatever problem that you've got.
Infestation.
Oh, fantastic, you saw the sign.
We heard the sign, apparently.
Oh, one of the psychic signs finally did its job. Excellent. You know, they told me that they would only communicate with people of incredibly low intelligence, and I thought, that's not the kind of people that we want helping us. We need smart, intelligent people, but I'm glad that clearly they've communicated with somebody.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Excellent. Harold walks over to you and extends his hand. Lovely to meet you. I'm Harold, lead explorer of the Explorers Guild.
Peasants.
Pheasants, yes. Lots of them around this time of year. Harold shakes your hand, Billy. And who are you? He says, looking toward you, Callum.
My name is Callum. I am the party's bard. I'm here for their entertainment and sometimes to actually help.
Fantastic. Well, where you may need to be going is not exactly a jovial place, so your laissez-faire attitude and hopefully your jokes and shapes may indeed be somewhat useful down here.
Let's hope so.
Tell me, have any of you ever travelled east to Firewine Bridge?
Never, but we have basically gone to hell once before, so can't be any different.
That is true.
Well, Firewine Bridge runs over a now dry riverbed. Large, huge, imposing, fantastic architecture on the bridge itself, but when the river dried up several years ago, we discovered a few hatches, if you will, in the ground. We opened them up and walked down the steps that revealed themselves and discovered that underneath Firewine Bridge is a complex series of tombs and catacombs and tunnels and dungeons, if you will. And then we discovered that they stored many things down there, powerful objects. And a week ago, we sent an exploration team down there. And a few days ago, they came back with this. Harold walks over to the table and peels back the black cloth. On the table is a glass box.
Ooh.
And inside the glass box is a folded up, dull red cape. He simply looks at you, Rage, then looks back at the cape. Do you know what this is?
No?
How about you, Sorceress? You know what this is?
Not without handling it first, potentially.
That's the problem. What about you, Bard? Ever seen anything like this?
I've seen something similar once before, but it was in a very, very posh brothel. And didn't look quite as fancy.
This cape was taken from one of the deepest rooms that we reached in the Firewine Bridge catacombs. It was taken out of the catacombs and worn by 3 people. One of them was the explorer that found it. One was one of the explorers with them as a bit of a joke. And then a third person when we brought it back here. Within 6 hours, all of those people had died.
Oh, how?
Their skin melted off their back, and they screamed in pain until they screamed their vocal cords out, and then they died of shock.
But it wasn't instant. It took
Wow.
time to set in.
Yes, they put the cloak on, and the bodies, the melted skin, perfectly resembles this cloak's colour.
But you gotta put the cloak on?
No one is going to put this cloak on ever again.
I go pick up the cloak.
It's in a glass box. Are you sure you want to try that?
Yes.
Roll a d20.
$20. I wasted a 20.
The cloak is inside a glass case on the table. In order to get to the cloak, you would need to remove the glass case. Are you sure you want to do this?
I would like to take the glass case
You want to pick up
And-
the glass case?
and say to the man, I think we should take this. If I think it will come in handy.
You walk up, you place your hands on the glass case. The moment you do, almost everyone in that room takes a step back and draws a short sword, simply looking straight at you. Harold takes a step forward. You will put that back.
Listen, Harold, listen, okay? Listen, right? Now listen, Harold, listen. Harold, honey, listen. I think we should take the cape, okay? Okay? We take the cape, we put it on the bad guys melt away.
After 6 hours, like, can we afford for that?
Yeah, but we can pretend to be friends with the evil people. Be like, hello, we've got you a present. Put the cloak on them, and then 6 hours later...
What evil people?
They'll be evil people. That's why we're here. We always fight the evil people,
No,
right?
we're here
You can
because
just
of a
smash
cloak.
them with your hammer.
But they...
I think you should put the cloak down. Please. Don't touch it.
Harold simply looks over at you. We have tried to burn it. We've tried to cut it. We've tried to tear it apart. We've tried to smash it. We've tried to unpick it. Nothing touches it. But anyone who touches it, their skin sluices off. What we need to do is take this back to the Firewine Bridge catacombs, put it back, and then seal the catacombs up.
I completely
No
agree.
one needs this.
Okay. So I take the box.
Someone does need to carry the box, but does it have to be her?
I can carry the box. But better, I can use Mage Hand to...
That
Make it
sounds
safer.
like a plan. Like, if none of us are physically carrying the box, I feel that's a safer option. Just as long as Rage isn't carrying the box, I think we'll be good.
Fine, I guess that's a good idea.
There we go.
Rage, are you giving the box of cursed cape over to Billy?
If I have to.
Billy,
Cast
are you
Mage
going
Hand and a
to
big
cast Mage
purple
Hand, and you will be carrying the...
It's like a
box
claw
with
machine
you.
hand.
Harold simply steps back and looks at all of you. Here's what we need help with. I don't like the idea of this cursed thing being in a museum. I don't like the idea of it being here. I don't like the idea of anyone having it. Don't get me wrong, it's an impressive piece of magical equipment, but it brings only death. We don't need this. So we take this back. We put it back where we found it, and then we seal that up. We place guards if we need to. No one needs this power.
I agree. It seems to be... I mean, might be a stupid question. Have you ever tried to make the cape wear itself by, like, rolling it up? Just to see if it's, like, a self-inflicting thing? Just out of curiosity, you know, like, just throwing stuff out there.
We tried everything we could think of. We tried all the non-stupid sounding stuff, and then we tried all the stupid sounding stuff. We've tried rolling it, we've tried folding it, we've tried origami, we've tried asking it nicely, we've tried throwing it at a wall, we've tried throwing it at itself at a wall, we've tried throwing it into a bag of holding and then just shaking the bag around a bit. This cape, whatever it's made of, doesn't want to be destroyed. It wants to exist solely to destroy and to kill. Now, when we went down into the catacombs or underneath the Firewine Bridge, you have to understand this wasn't the only object down there. There are weapons. There are pieces of armor. There are scrolls. There are bottles. We're only explorers, mind you. We're not thieves. So we left everything down there. But the more I think about it, the river that used to run underneath Firewine Bridge, the river that kept this all hidden, that's a man-made river. That was diverted hundreds of years ago. I think whoever did that hundreds of years ago wanted to cover up this catacomb. I don't think anyone was meant to go down there. So my plan is to put this back and then find a way to cover up this catacomb for good.
Or bury it in a hole. In the woods.
A hole is just a small cave, so I can see that working.
I know some good holes.
You want to take one of the most dangerous, evil, malevolent things we've ever discovered from a catacomb kept flooded for hundreds of years and bury it in a hole in the woods.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, no. That's not what's going to happen.
Why
We're
not?
going to take this... Because you don't do that. You don't just bury magical evil items in holes in woods. You put
Do
them...
you want to be cursed? Because that's what's going to happen. That's what happens when you take stuff.
Curse me. It's not. How is our cape gonna know the difference between a dirty hole in the woods and a dirty hole underground?
It's not about what the
same
cape
thing.
knows. It's about how difficult it's going to be for somebody else to gain access to it.
Well, then put tree on top of it. I don't know.
Let's
Well,
just return it to its home and get the job done.
It's dangerous.
It
Do
is
you want to fight
dangerous.
some...
That's why we need you.
Do you want to go fight some bad guys?
I just wanted to find a man.
Right. Executive decision. We're taking it back to the cave where it belongs.
Thank you, Callum.
Okay.
And I think it should just belong there. It went unfound for long enough that as long as no one else knows.
Plus, there might be a man in there. Is there a man in there? Are there beings?
There are many traps, both mystical, evil, and malevolent, down in the catacombs of Firewine Bridge. Animated bones, puzzles, floors that fall away from underneath you, and we think the remnants of a lich. Long dead, but still showing magical energy.
Right. Well, I guess that's our adventure then. I guess that's what we're doing. We've committed to it now.
Yeah.
Still going ahead with the executive decision. I think this is the right thing to do. What do you think, Billy?
I agree. Are there any resources that the Explorers Guild can provide to us?
If you aid us in returning this cloak, this cape, this evil thing to the treasure room underneath Firewine Bridge, we will see what we have in our stockpile of mystical items that you would be able to take with you on your adventures.
Sound good, Rage? Get a new magical item.
I don't like magic.
What if it's a magical slug?
They don't exist.
You don't
You're
know that.
silly.
I can make you a
You're
slug.
silly.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Harold simply asks you if all of you are ready to join him and a small crew of explorers as you walk back east toward Firewine Bridge.
Yes.
Billy?
Well, I don't know what you said. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't know what we said, but
absolutely.
you're agreeing to it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Right, Rage is very ready for this. Callum, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, this is a good deed. It's one that I think we're capable of. I'm feeling confident about this.
Harold organises a small group of explorers. They all throw on some leather backpacks. They have bedrolls on them. They have food. They have drink. They have the general kind of explorer equipment that you would expect. They throw some black cloaks around themselves to keep themselves safe from the weather. And they begin to walk out of the Explorers Guild and down the main street, exiting Beregost. Rage, Billy, Callum, are you ready to join them?
Yep, I pretend to also put things on my back and like I have anything and start to make my way.
Roll the d20.
13.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of obvious to everyone in there that you're just kind of doing the motions that you've got stuff, and then you take something out your pocket and put it in another pocket and take it out of that pocket, put it back in the first pocket to seem busy. But they admire the tenacity. You know what? They appreciate the input and the effort
I'm so
that you're going
prepared.
to for this. Callum, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I've got my axe out and I'm scraping it across my shoe to make sure it's sharp. It is very sharp. But yeah, I'm just trying to look the part. Just, copying what Billy does.
You're scraping your axe across your shoe to check how sharp it is.
Yes.
Roll a d20, Callum.
Oh, Christ. That's an 18.
18.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you scrape across the steel-toed part of your boot as you split the leather on top easily.
Also,
It
if he's
slices
copying
through it
me,
like
I
butter.
start like tapping my head and rubbing my stomach to see if he copies.
I follow suit.
Callum, your copy...
Yep.
Harold glances back into the room to see the caliber of adventurers that have answered his call for help. And what he sees is Rage being annoyed that she's not carrying the box, and Billie, you're doing that, and Callum's doing that, and Harold looks at his companions, and they look back, and they're just like, Adventurers Guild, what can you do? You know, you get what you pay for. Harold leaves the building and walks out of Beragos toward the east. Rage, have you started doing it as well?
I realised they were doing it too. I want to join in.
Some sort of summoning ritual.
All three of you leave Baragost, and the only thing that the guard standing outside the Explorers Guild sees is three people walking out, rubbing their stomachs and patting their heads at the same time, showing their complete mastery of motor skills as they leave and turn and walk out.
It's how we warm up.
Yeah. It's like a group chant.
Firewine Bridge is to the east of Baragost. As Harold was explaining, it used to cross over a raging river, but in recent years the river has dried up. The river was man-made, and when the river did dry up, these entrances to the underground catacombs were discovered. Maybe the river was diverted there simply to flood the catacombs and to keep anyone else from going into them. Maybe the objects in them are just too dangerous and too cursed to be seen or used anywhere else. But, Billie, how are you carrying the glass box that contains the cursed cloak with you?
So I'm actually not carrying it. I'm just using my claw machine style mage hand just to kind of carry it.
Okay.
Next to me, I'm gonna make sure that I'm kind of underneath it. It's just I'm not really that strong, so I feel like glass is quite heavy, so I'm just like underneath it in case it falls to like break its fall. But I'm not.
Yeah, you are
actually
supporting
carrying
it and you're walking
Yeah.
with it. Rage, you aren't carrying this cursed cape anymore. How do you feel?
Upset. I am a
Okay,
strong
good
woman.
one-word answer. Callum, how do you feel?
I'm a bit unnerved by the fact we know it's cursed. But I'm just going to try and stay away from the mage hand as much as possible for this. I'm keeping my distance.
Yes, I like how Billie has a very detailed explanation for how she's carrying it. Callum has a complex thought about how he feels and what he's going to do and how he's going to act, and Rage just feels upset.
I am upset.
Right. Harold decides to hang back and walk with you as you walk toward the ruins of Firewine Bridge, and he simply looks over to you and goes, "So, Adventurers Guild, eh? What's life like in the old Adventurers Guild?"
Oh, you know. So
I don't know. That's why I'm asking what
adventure.
life's like.
Callum,
Yeah.
you tell him you're a man of storytelling.
Oh, it's quite the lifestyle, you know. We're just we get called out on these adventures. Some of them very menial, others are very menial but taxing. It's a thing. Yeah.
He's underselling us. Play him a song.
Oh Christ.
Oh, you play instruments, do you?
I do. I'm very good with sound.
That.
It's a work in
So
progress.
what instruments do you play?
Oh, you know, the flute.
Oh, that was you playing the flute.
And the flute.
Right.
And
So
occasionally
have you,
at meetings and parties, I will sometimes play the flute.
right. Have you just started playing the flute?
Does it sound like I have?
It sounds like you're in pain.
Look, I am, but that wasn't the question. So, I am always in pain and always playing the flute. And
I see. Have you
sometimes they
taken any
just
lessons?
merge together. I did take lessons from my grandpa, although he was going deaf
Was
in
he
his
deaf?
old age, yeah.
Yes.
Probably not the best choice
Did he
now
also
I think
have-
about it.
Had your grandpa ever played the flute?
No, he's heard it before though, although that was about 7 years prior, the last time he heard a flute. I think he's got it mixed up
see.
with the bassoon, which is easily done. They are both blow-suck weapons, so, you know.
Blowsuck weapons.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a blowpipe, except it makes tuned sound. Sometimes, unless it's me
So
playing.
a flute is a musical blowpipe.
Pretty much. I mean,
that
mine
an
is.
official Adventurers Guild?
So, mine is. I've used this many a time to shoot nails and other sharp projectiles while giving out a nice little into the distance.
So, the point of a blowpipe is to be stealthy. Am I correct?
You are.
And you're announcing your blowpipe shots with a large, piercing musical note through the darkness.
It has its advantages, believe it or not. So, if somebody's running off and they don't know you're there, it's actually better to announce your arrival because they'll turn around to look at you and stop for a second. And it means I don't have to hit a moving target. So, it works quite well.
I see. And has the Adventurers Guild taken up this blow-suck weapon strategy?
So it's not too popular amongst the Adventurers Guild, for the reasons you just mentioned. But then again, I'm not that stealthy anyway. I'm known to trip out of cover when going for the stealth attack, so I might as well do it with style, right?
I see. What about you, young sorceress? How's your adventures in the Adventurers Guild gone?
You'll never guess. You'll never guess. I had such a good time. This one, it was a very bad day. I was having the worst day, but there was a sandwich and I saved it. It could have gone off. Nobody was there to eat it. We were stuck in a time loop, but I saved the sandwich and it was great.
That did happen.
Clearly, we're very much missing out over here at the Explorers Guild. I mean, all we did last week was uncover an ancient catacomb hidden for hundreds of years by a violent force of nature, dive down into it, fight past the puzzles and traps and tricks and animated bodies and weapons down there, steal some cursed objects, bring it back, and now we are adventuring back into there. You, Barbarian woman? I assume you have some stories to tell?
I want to go home, but my mum said no. We did save all these kids from being sacrifices once to witches, and then we killed the kids. But my mum said that it's not good enough, and I have to stay a bit longer.
That did also
But I
happen.
did meet a man. He died. But it's okay.
Oh God, maybe.
These are all individual stories. Like,
Oh,
we're
and this
together,
one
we're
time,
really good.
We accidentally set a birthday party on fire, and it killed all the parents and all the kids, apart from one, and then he swore vengeance on us. But we haven't seen him yet, so it's okay. Oh, and there was this other time we went on to, like, a challenge thing. We all had to work together, and then this sorceress, who was Billie's dad, died, and there was this other handsome barbarian, and he died too. But we survived.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
and
you
there
did.
was this other time when we were in a party and we pretended to be party people, and then Callum threw a kid on some spikes. Oh, and there was this other
that
time
happened too.
Oh
where
God. I just drag her away. I stop her from talking. I cover her mouth.
Please do.
where it's just,
Oh, good, we're here. You arrive at the dusty bed of Firewine Bridge, the river long gone. Above you, beautiful stone architecture, arches and columns rising and creating a lovely, beautiful bridge that spans quite a distance. You are down in the riverbed. It's been dry for about a couple of months now. And as you look around the riverbed, you see a large wooden flat door on the floor, propped open by a big stick, and milling around it several people from the Explorers Guild. Little tents have been set up outside around this door and the steps that lead down into the earth. This is clearly some kind of exploration camp. And as you see, Harold walks over and greets several people jovially, as an old friend would, and then turns around and looks towards you three. Right, here's the plan.
Okay.
We go down, we put the cape back, we leave, and then we bury this place. What do you say?
I like the plan up until the last bit. How are we burying it? I didn't bring a shovel.
Oh, very, very simple. Once we are all out of the catacombs, we are simply going to fill it with rubble and rock, probably from the bridge above us.
I'll work on a better solution to that, but we'll roll with that for now.
Right. Now, I should probably explain exactly why we've brought you along to help us. It's not quite as simple as it sounds.
What's the catch?
Come with me. Harold walks down the steps into the catacombs of Firewine Bridge. Rage, are you following?
Mentally or physically?
I was just going to say that.
Billie. Billie, how are you doing?
I followed him down.
Callum,
I
how are
followed
you
you.
doing?
I just, again, follow very subtly behind Billie.
You head down the steps, and you reach the first large room. On the walls, bricks, moss, little insects scurrying around the place, and small circular cut-out holes with spears stuck out of them. A trap already sprung. Lying on the floor, a pile of bones with a scimitar, a sword on top of it. And then, over in the corner, a little flame trap on the floor, just gently licking the flames up to the top. It looks like all the traps have been sprung and everything that could be dangerous is already dealt with. And then there's a tunnel in front of you, with some blades swinging across in front of it. But they swing and then click, and wait for a while, and then swing and then click, and then wait for a while. It's clearly not a very well-trapped place. Harold turns to look at you. So, you can probably notice the traps aren't not really doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Do you know if there's any more traps in there, though, that haven't been sprung yet?
Loads. Absolutely loads. There are animated skeletons, there are floors that fall away, there are spikes that shoot out, there are flame traps, there are books that fly across the room and then attempt to paper cut you to death. There's everything. Everything you could possibly imagine putting into something that you don't want people to go to, it's here. And when we first explored through, we triggered pretty much everything.
Right.
And then we picked up the cloak. And when we picked the cloak up, everything reset.
Oh?
But
Great.
it didn't hurt us. When we had the cloak with us, nothing triggered.
Was somebody wearing the cloak at this point?
No, they were carrying it.
Just in their bare hands?
Here's the theory. Getting into the catacombs and into the treasure room and putting the cloak back, that's going to be the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't have the cloak anymore, getting out might be the challenge, and that's where you come in.
Where's the challenge?
The challenge is this. He kind of motions around to all the traps in the room. These are going to be a problem getting out, we think.
I should be okay.
We got
Yes, but-
this.
Yes, but you do realise that they won't be like this. They'll be reset and they'll be... You'll find out what happens when we put the cloak back.
Oh, okay.
Right. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
You journey down through a tunnel with blades swinging across. Slowly. You can easily jump past them. Rage, roll a d20. Billie, also roll. And Callum, roll a d20 as well, please. These
14.
blades are swinging slowly. Very easy to
no.
avoid. Sharp, but super easy to avoid. Rage, what was your roll?
14.
Billie?
17.
Callum?
6.
Easy to avoid. You simply step through between every single time a blade swings. You enter another room. This room has a crumbling floor, and below you you can see the tips of sharp spikes, dull white bones scattered around in a pile through the cracks in the floor. You step forward and step on a dull part of the floor, but you can feel it start to crumble before you put your full weight on it. Traversing this room should be no problem at all. You can see exactly where you're stepping. There are flaming torches on the walls. Rage, roll a d20.
19.
Billie and Callum also, please.
Oh, I've got 9.
13.
Ooh.
Traversing this room is no problem whatsoever. And that gets you to the next room. You step inside. A bit lighter, this one. There's actually a tunnel, a very small, thin tunnel, all the way to the surface with a lovely beam of sunlight coming down. And inside this room, statues. The body of a man. The legs of a bull. Horns of a bull. Holding a large axe. Simply frozen in lovely stone statue form. A beautiful carved minotaur. But it's no danger to you whatsoever right now. You could simply walk through this, because as you bring the cloak up to it, you can almost see the stone begin to harden even more on its extremities. The presence of the cloak is slowing down whatever the hell this thing is.
Ooh.
Rage, how are you feeling seeing a statue of a minotaur?
Do we all see that?
Yep.
So we
It's
all
a massive
see...
statue in the centre of the room. It would be pretty hard to miss.
We all see the fact that he gets, harder if we put the cloak near it.
Yes, Rage. Yes, he does.
Oh, guys!
Yes?
Do you think this thing comes alive when we take the cloak away?
I'm thinking just the same thing. Have you got any rope?
Harold
not got
literally
any
puts his head in his hands as you have that idea.
How about, right? Crazy thought, I know. How about we just leave it be? Because it's not a problem for now. This is a later
Yeah, but
problem.
I'm thinking we
Because-
put some rope round its legs so when it wakes up, it trips over, and then we've got more of an advantage. This is.
Well,
Have you got any rope,
that's-
Callum?
Do I have any rope, Mr. DM?
Roll for rope.
let's tie up this boy.
Harold simply looks at you. We can formulate a plan in a second. The last room is ahead of us.
Okay.
No, we have to think now.
I mean, to be honest,
Harold
its legs
walks through
aren't
a
together, so
small
it wouldn't
alcove
matter.
opening and motions that you follow him.
I follow.
I
Take
punch
the-
the stone
Rage, you punch the stone.
in an attempt to break it.
Roll a d20.
Oh,
It
boy.
was not a high roll. Fuck. Sorry. Damn.
What's the roll?
7.
Please roll a d6 and take that much damage.
No. Please, no. Can I
Roll a
undo-
d6.
Why?
Because you punched stone.
But I'm strong.
Yeah, but the stone is stronger. It's literally just statue.
Strong as bull. 3.
Please take 3 damage from punching a statue. Thank you, Cal.
No problem.
Yes, it will hurt. Your hands hurt now.
Oh.
Harold has walked through into the final room of this underground catacomb. Billy and Callum, have you followed him?
Yeah, I have double checked. Callum has no rope, and as none of us have any rope, we just follow in.
Yeah, I follow too.
Inside the final room, some magical ambient light is being cast from somewhere. You should be in pitch blackness, but you can't. For some reason, you can see the entire room. There is a plinth in the centre of the room with an urn on it. And then around the room, various objects. A sword hanging from a hook. A space where a cloak should be. A helmet, a plate body, some plate legs. A shield, and a little satchel. All of them emanating evil auras, evil energy from them. You know that the cloak that's in the glass case you've got needs to go back on the wall to complete this set of malevolent energy, and then you need to leave. If you attempt to take anything in this room out of this room, you will be able to, but it will be cursed and will have terrible consequences for you doing this. Rage, how are you feeling seeing this room of incredibly powerful cursed items and weapons?
I don't like it. I don't like anything magical. But what is in the room?
What's in the room? That's fine, I'll go through the explanation again. There's a plinth in the centre of the room with a black urn on the top of it. There is a sword hanging up on a hook on the wall. There is a hook with a space of where a cloak should be hung. There is a helmet, there's a plate body, there's some plate legs, there's a shield over to the side of the wall, and then there is a small satchel in the corner. So, pretty much one complete adventuring kit, if you will, just missing the cloak that clearly some people took.
I don't want anything.
The vast majority of viewers are distracted by the cat on the dice box.
I can't, he's chosen that it's his now.
Yes, that's fine. The cat is now there. You must now roll the cat if we need. to anything. Billie, how are you feeling about this room full of magical items?
I'm not feeling too great about it because I know everything's going to kick off. And I'm also worried that someone is going to end up finding this. So I'm going to just write a little note on the glass, like, that just says, no, really, don't bother. It's cursed. You'll thank me later.
I mean, you're going to need to take it out the glass and hang it back up.
No, just on the glass. Like, I'm going to leave the glass there.
Okay. And Callum, how are you feeling about this room full of magical objects?
I'm quietly optimistic. I think if we put the cape back here, we should be okay. But there's always
Now,
the chance it
Harold
won't
is
be.
simply standing around. Harold is standing around looking at the objects, talking out loud to himself, just going, priceless. Everything in here. A national historical treasure. Priceless. All of them. A sword to make you the strongest fighter in the land. That lich's urn brimming with magical energy. Limitless power for a sorcerer. And the value of this place. Oh, God. I don't think there's enough gold in existence. Kings, emperors, gods would pay for this. Have you ever seen such a treasure trove? He's talking to you, Billie.
Not quite as vast as this, but it's giving me bad vibes.
How about you, Bard? Must be interesting to stand in a room full of things more valuable than anything almost in existence.
I mean, I was once in a music shop where they had this incredible gilded flute, and I accidentally dropped it, and they said I had to pay for it. I didn't. I very quickly fluted a tune on my own flute and escaped. So I've never been back to anywhere with valuable stuff since then. So I'm quite enjoying this.
You know, sometimes there are stories that we don't need to tell people that we're working with. Sometimes it's okay not to talk.
I'm learning that the hard way.
I've hired you to protect me.
You did also ask me if
Why?
you asked me.
I see. What about you, angry lady?
I am not an angry lady, actually. That's very sexist of you.
I mean, you are a lady, and you are angry.
Just about.
I mean, yes.
Are you impressed by this treasure trove of evil artifacts?
No. And I think anyone who does has a small brain.
Good. We must now return the cape and bury this place. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to put the cape back on the hook. You must then get out of this room, get past whatever happens to that statue, get across the crumbling floor, through the blades, and back out. And we will all be waiting for you outside, wishing you the best. Harold turns around and leaves the room quickly, walks back past the Minotaur statue, over the crumbling floor, knowing exactly where to step, in between the blades, and back up the steps. You are now down there in the catacombs by yourself. Rage, you've been given a job. You are rolling that d20 very well.
Good boy!
You've been told, very simply, that all you need to do is hang the cape back up, which will reactivate the traps, and then get the hell out of there. How are you feeling?
Fine. Well, when I was 8 years old, my mum got me a birthday gift, and it was basically a climbing frame with, like, loads of axes and stuff. So you had to, like, jump through it from start to finish. So, like, piece of cake, really.
Billie, how are you feeling about this?
I start taking the glass and putting it on the floor, and then using the claw mage hand to, like, basically take the cape out of the glass and start to hang it up.
Callum, how are you feeling? Now, before you hang it back up, you can, if you want to, take some steps or precautions to make the challenges you're about to face when you hang the cape up easier. Or you can just hang it up and attempt to run through them.
I'll cast mage armor on myself to help myself a little bit.
Okay. Callum, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit apprehensive about this. So far, this seems way too easy. If possible, I'd like to detect magic and try and see what's going on in here, if anything.
Sure, roll the d20.
That's an 18.
Everything in here is incredibly evil. The traps have been placed by people long before you to attempt to keep you away from these items. The first people to discover these items simply hid them in a room. People then kept discovering them, so they hid them in a room with some traps. People kept discovering them, so they hid them in a room under the ground with more traps. People kept discovering them, so they hid them in a room under the ground with a river on top of them to make sure no one can get them. You are standing in a room of perhaps the most malevolent, psychic, powerful items that you will ever be near. The plate armor would not let a single blow through, but would eventually eat you from the inside out. The sword would be absolutely incredible and win pretty much any sword fight you want to, but you will at some point wake up with it stabbing or cutting you. The shield will block any incoming blow, but also block everything else. Sound, light, feelings, love, anything. All the items in here are incredibly evil and have been compiled and stored away from anyone else. If any one of them is taken away, then the traps are effectively useless at this point. You need to put them back and then escape and then find a way to make sure no one ever finds them ever again.
Right. I mean, after finding that out, I think whatever evil force is here will be happy to have its cape back, so I'm not too worried anymore.
It will try and kill you as soon as you put the cape back, because you'll effectively be reactivating all of the traps people have set up.
That is true, but I think the evil force itself will be happy. Not necessarily the traps, but the evil force itself. So I'm all on board with this. I'm good. I'm good. We're going to do this.
Billie, how are you feeling?
I'm ready. I'll put it back.
You open the glass case and hang the cape back up. As you do, a gentle gust of wind blows through the catacombs, and you feel something is complete again. Something is happy. But then the magical light of the room you're in dims, until you're standing in pitch darkness. You start to hear the scraping of stone in a room just beyond, and the heavy steps of a minotaur as it begins to walk around the small stone prison it's effectively encased within. And you hear some of the ground begin to crumble away further away from you, falling down into the spiked pit below. The blades stop swinging and click back into a concealed position. You are standing in an absolutely pitch-black room. You know that beyond this room there is a minotaur. Beyond that room there is a crumbling floor. And beyond that room there are swinging blades from the walls. But you can't see any of them. Rage, what's your plan to get out?
Well, I think I might go and see what Mintor's up to. Then I'm gonna walk across the ground, and then I'm gonna dodge the axes.
Simple. Super simple.
Yeah.
That's the plan to get out, is it?
Yeah.
Right, Billie, what's your plan?
So I'm going to use some Burning Hands energy through my staff to create a light for the other people who don't have dark vision.
So you're going to use a gentle bit of magic, flame magic, to create like a gentle flame at the top of your staff.
Yeah.
Okay. And Callum, what are you doing?
Knowing what them two are doing, I'm, again, going to very carefully follow Billie because I don't want to be anywhere near that blind, flailing oaf.
Hey.
Rage, are you going first?
Yeah.
Okay. When you leave the treasure room that you're in and head back into the room that you know has a minotaur, how are you going to approach this?
I would like to walk up to the Minotaur.
Can you see it? Because right now it's very, very dark and Billie is only providing you a small amount of light. So you're just going to walk straight up to it.
Can I see it?
As you peer through the opening into the room that you just came from, it's still pretty dark, and with Billie's staff, the shadow you're casting into the room kind of spreads out across all the walls, and you can see a large, dark grey shape walking about, taking slow, heavy steps, holding a large stone axe still.
I turn to the group and I say, guys, right, remember when we sang happy birthday to that man, that troll thing?
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, it was my birthday, how did you know? Do you reckon, like, that would kind of work on the Minotaur? Because he just woke up.
I mean,
Like, what if we tell him?
I mean, look, I'm open to your ideas. Why not? Sure,
Alright,
let's
I'll
go.
go first. And if it goes wrong,
Your
Hit
plan
him
is
with
to
the
I'll
walk
go
up. To the,
first.
your plan is to walk up to the Minotaur and sing happy birthday to it.
No. I'm going to walk up to him, though.
So you walk up to the Minotaur. What do you then do?
Get his attention.
Roll a d20.
3.
Describe how you get his attention.
I will walk up and I'll go, excuse me.
The Minotaur turns around, sees you, his whole bulky body swings around, and the flat edge of a large stone axe smashes into you. Roll a
I
d20.
dodge it. I dodge it.
Roll a d20 to try and dodge.
20.
20. You manage to roll forward underneath the axe, and it completely misses you. Billy, what are you doing?
I am gonna cast Firebolt right at his neck.
Roll a d20.
Talk to it.
17.
Describe how the firebolt flies from your fingers or your staff toward this Minotaur.
Yeah, so my stuff is still like lit up, so I'm just gonna like kind of do a little wisp around because I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna kill Rage, and just like shoot it straight at him out of my hands.
A firebolt flies out of the tip of your staff, a small congealed ball of flame, into the Minotaur's neck. Now, the Minotaur is made of flesh and blood and fur and skin, but does still have stone fragments on the end of it from when it was turned into a statue. Your firebolt chips away some of these fragments, exposing the fleshy part of the neck. Callum, what are you doing?
So I see the kerfuffle taking place. I
Kerfuffle.
a minor kerfuffle.
This is definitely a kerfuffle.
I take out my axe and I go for a straight and narrow throw, just straight at like the head or neck.
Roll a d20.
That's a 16.
You throw the axe directly at the neck. The Minotaur sees it, manages to spin just in time, holds up his stone axe and deflects your axe away from him, knocking it harmlessly away into the corner. The Minotaur realizes there are 3 of you. Probably more than he can take on right now. Rage, you've managed to dodge it. It assumes that you are quick and nimble. Billy, it recognizes you as the threat. So it simply pulls its arm back, extending the large double-headed axe out behind it, and then, with a terrifying rip of its muscles, throws it through the air towards you. Billy, roll a d20 to dodge.
Oh my dear lord, please help me. 20!
Dang.
The axe flies through the air, spinning horizontally as it goes. You are in the doorway, Billy, and you are just able to jump back in time as the axe lodges itself in the exact doorway entrance between the Minotaur room and the treasure room full of all of the cursed objects, the axe sticking in the doorway horizontally. The Minotaur runs forward and grabs it and realizes that it can't dislodge it from in between the door frame. Rage, what are you doing?
I want to walk up behind it and I say, excuse me, wait, just wait a second, please, wait. We are trying to defend the place. Let us pass.
Rage, roll a d20.
A long roll.
19. +1.
A snort.
The Minotaur turns and looks at you. He's aware that you could have attacked him, but haven't. However, he does not speak common. He does not understand your language. He realizes that you're maybe not a threat, but Billy still is. So as he pulls once more, he manages to dislodge the axe from in between the door frame. Billy, what are you going to do?
Before he does that, I'm gonna try and acid splash his hand that's reaching for the axe.
Roll a
I'm right
d20.
by him.
That's a 6.
Oh no.
The acid splash goes onto the axe, and it drips down along the haft of the axe onto the axe head itself. And when the Minotaur dislodges the axe and kind of flicks it behind him, a thin spray of acid shoots across the room. Callum, roll a d20.
Oh boy. That's a 20.
Ooh!
You manage to duck perfectly underneath the line of acid as it hits the walls along the side. And as it does, it begins to melt through some, not all, but some of the bricks, revealing a small tunnel within the Minotaur room leading somewhere else, not toward the treasure room. Rage. You've managed to get the Minotaur's attention. He's pulled the axe out and flicked it away. And he turns back to look at you, simply holding the axe up. What are you going to do, or say?
That's what I do.
You're going to mime, I love you, and then a kiss toward the Minotaur. Roll a d20 with advantage, so roll 2 and choose the highest.
13.
And
3.
13 and 3. The Minotaur is confused by your attempts to communicate with it, but still understands that maybe you are in trouble. Maybe you need to be saved from these other two people who are here with you. The Minotaur turns around with this acid-etched axe toward Billy and begins to attack. Billy, what are you going to do before it gets another swing onto you?
Okay, I'm going to, slide into the hole.
You're going to slide into the hole from the invisible tunnel that's now been effectively revealed behind these bricks.
Yep, just right in the entrance of it, so when he hits it, he'll just hit the more of the bricks, basically.
Roll a d20.
Hit the walls of the tunnel.
18.
18. You do manage to run just past the Minotaur and jump toward where you know is an illusionary wall. You fly straight through the bricks and land on the other side nice and safe. The Minotaur's not sure where you've gone, but it does recognise you, Cal, as a threat. Callum, what are you doing?
I'm going to... Yes? What?
I'm just whispering through the bricks.
Okay. I'm going to do something unpredictable here. I'm going to roll forward towards it and hope that whatever it's going to do next misses.
Okay, Cal, roll a d20.
Shit. Oh, that's an 8. That is a very
So
definite
your plan
8.
is to preemptively roll to see if its attack misses.
Yeah, it's expecting me to dodge, but I'm going to dodge towards it.
The dinosaur simply hafts up its large... The dinosaur. Yes, it's now a dinosaur.
I was so
The
confused.
Minotaur hafts up its axe. The
don't think it
dinosaur... That's in the next room. Shut up. The Minotaur... I will turn this stream around.
Oh, God.
Revealed its true form.
Welcome
The
to
Minotaur.
Jurassic Park. I can live.
Lifts up its axe, and it's waiting for you to do something, Cal. Mm-hmm. It waits and it watches as you forward roll toward it and then stand up and look at it.
Yep.
Once you've finished forward rolling, standing up and looking at it, it grabs you with its other hand and throws you against the far wall.
Oh, no.
You slam into the wall. Please roll a d6.
Oh, no. Hang on, let me find my D6.
Like a
Oh,
D6,
no.
like a D6.
Oh, it's a
Like a
6.
D6.
It's a 6.
Unless, Callum,
Yeah.
you're able to play a tune that the Minotaur will recognise.
Oh, hang on. I've got just the one. That was supposed to be Jurassic Park. Yeah.
It was a beautiful rendition of Jurassic Park. Please take 6 damage.
I'm in danger.
Oh no.
Whee!
The Minotaur realises that, Rage, You're in the room, but you're safe. Billie's disappeared, but Callum's there. It turns back and looks at you, Rage. Rage, what are you going to try and do to communicate with it? It knows you're not a threat.
Are you trying to get Minotaur uppies?
You're reaching toward it as if you want to be picked up. Roll a d20.
He's just yeeted me into a wall.
It's a natural 1.
Oh no.
Please?
That's a natural 1.
Yes.
You're going through the roof.
No, uppies.
The Minotaur realizes that you are attempting to be picked up by it, and so it wants to help you. It reaches down with its large, muscular hand, and then it picks you up to put you on its shoulder. The ceiling, however, is a bit lower than it realizes, and so as it picks you up, it crushes your upper body against the ceiling. Rage, please roll 2d6 and take that amount of damage.
If you go double 6, you're dead.
Two d6, please.
Daddy crushed me.
Daddy did crush you, that's true.
A 5
Oh no.
and a 5.
Please take 10 damage from being crushed on the ceiling.
Oh no.
After you have been crushed on the ceiling, it then flops you over its shoulder. You are effectively almost unconscious by now, but you are indeed on the Minotaur's shoulder.
Do let out a massive scream, right?
You can't scream. Your lungs have been crushed at this point, so it doesn't know it's done anything wrong. Billie, you can see through the bricks from this side, but it can't see you. You realise that you're in a slightly different room. A room similar to the treasure room that you were in before, but there's only one object in this room. The hooks on the side of the walls are all effectively empty. The only object in this room is a small wooden box on the plinth in the centre, no bigger than the palm of your hand.
I want to go check out the box. Can I sense magical energy from it?
Yes, roll a d20.
3.
It is definitely magical, you just don't know how.
Okay. I want to open the box, see what's inside.
You walk up to the box and you open it. Inside, just gently kind of vibrating in the air, is a very thin red glass vial with some kind of gem or diamond inside it, plinking around the inside, attempting to almost get out. It looks like it's contained magical energy.
Don't do anything stupid.
Okay, but I really want to do something stupid.
I know, it's so tempting, isn't it?
Billie, what are you going to do?
Can I unplug the vial, please?
The actual glass vial has no plug.
Oh,
It's
okay. It's
simply
just-
a glass orb that you can see through with a little gem inside bouncing around trying to get out.
Okay, I'm going to grab the orb and just smash it against the nearest brick to try and get what's inside.
Okay, roll a d20.
6.
You grab the orb and you smash it against the glass. The glass shatters and then dissolves. The little orb that was bouncing around pings out and then loses all of its energy, falls to the floor, and then melts into ash. Rage, please roll a d4.
Three.
You just about manage to land on your feet when the Minotaur you are on instantly crumbles to ash and you fall down and land. Billie, the illusion of the bricks fades away and you can hear the blades start to click and lock into place from the swinging earlier, and the magical ambient light from the treasure room is brought back up. You may
Okay.
have just found the source of the magic that actually runs all of these traps. How are you feeling?
So is everything stopped now? Or is the Minotaur still alive? Can I
The
tell?
Minotaur has crumbled into ash, a large pile of black and grey on the floor.
Rip
Okay.
Daddy.
If there's nothing else in this room, and the dust is just dust,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just like blow it to make sure that it can't like recompartmentalize or anything like that, you know.
Everything in this room, the room that you're in right now, the one with the plinth and the wooden box, even the wooden box is starting to slowly rot and crumble apart. Effectively, it's been all of the magical energy that controlled these traps congealed into one. You simply blow the dust and ash away and it's gone.
Okay,
You
I'm
can
gonna
sense
just make my way
nothing
out.
magical about the catacomb you're in at all anymore, but you can still sense the evil coming from the items in the final room. Billy, you have effectively managed to deactivate the traps within this area. The Minotaur is gone. And if you walk back out the Minotaur room, back to the crumbling floor room, you realise that actually a lot of the weak floor has almost congealed into a single solid path across the spike pit.
Nice.
Do you wish to take it, Billy?
No, I'm going to go and see if I can grab Callum, because I know he was thrown around. I'm going to go check on him first, like dust him off a little. How is he
Callum,
feeling?
you are crumbled on the floor into a pile after being thrown against the wall. How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling my best. I have definitely been better, but I'm not dead. I'm feeling okay.
I know you're not, but Rage is really... She's in danger. Do you
Yeah.
have anything...
Yes.
You need to help her, please. We need to get to the other side.
Yes.
I can't carry her.
I've got just the thing. So with Rage being the front man of this whole ordeal, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on her, which allows me to roll a D8 to heal her with no
Okay, go for
modifiers.
it.
That's a 3.
Rage, you get 3 hit points back.
Oh,
She's
Where's-
You're okay.
where's Daddy gone?
I was so tempted to say I'm here.
You just ate your
Disgusting.
microphone.
Yep, I tried to turn it. It went in my mouth. It happens sometimes.
Did you just... Did you just eat your microphone?
Sometimes I forget where it is.
You realise that you are lying in a pile of daddy.
What happened? Oh, my ribs. Oh, what happened?
I don't know, but we need to leave. I think it's safe now.
Billy, you said I'd find a man.
I didn't say where you'd find a man. It's definitely not going to be here.
You lied to me.
I didn't lie. I just...
Again.
What do you mean again?
Scoop up the ashes of Daddy. Look what you did.
Are you
How
going
did-
to
what do you
try and
mean
keep them with you? Do you have a spare vial?
I will keep them. I shove it in my pocket.
Okay, you have a pocket of Daddy Tor, just in case you need to use the Minotaur ashes again.
Daddy Tor dust.
Yes, yes, you do have that.
God.
Billy, you've checked that Rage is okay, and you checked Callum's okay. Callum, how are you feeling?
I've just snorted drink, but I'm feeling great.
Are you ready to leave?
After the Daddy Tour issue, I want to be out of here like ASAP.
You realise that the crumbling floor room has had a single path congealed along it to make sure it's safe, and the blades that were spinning are now kind of flailing from side to side in the small tunnel. They're actually just hanging lifelessly down in the front, meaning you can effortlessly just jump over them or scurry past them.
Cool. Let's start. I'll go first and like try and test it because I don't want them to get injured in case something else does trigger, and I'm the only one with any sort of health.
It's totally safe and you're able to leave. In fact, you're able to get back to the steps relatively quickly. All the spikes and the spears that shoot out the walls have all dropped to the floor. There's bones of skeletons and scimitars are still there, and the flame traps have died down as well. You are greeted by the warm, welcoming sun as you walk up the steps out toward the dry riverbed of Firewine Bridge. Billy, are you
Harold?
ready?
Wait,
Harold turns around and looks at
where's
you.
Harold?
He turns around and looks. My God, you did it!
Oh yeah, it was kind of easy to be honest. I'm not really sure what you were complaining about.
My goodness, what happened down there?
Well, we put it back and then we left.
And what about all the traps? How did you get past them?
Walked.
You just walk past them.
Yeah.
Are they gone?
Well, they're not engaged.
Okay, right. All we need to do now. Where is everyone else with you? Rage, have you left as well?
She had a bit of a traumatic time in there.
I see. And you, Bard, Callum, was it?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I am very bruised. I'm not used to getting hit. This has been traumatic, to say the least.
And all of the objects and items, they're all still down there, right?
Yeah. Nothing with us.
Right,
Daddy's
excellent.
gone.
Well, all that's left to do is seal this place up to make sure nobody ever finds it ever again. We'll be getting right on that. That's... Anyway, payment for you. That's essential that we needed that.
Can I detect thoughts, whether he's being honest or whether that's all actually going to be collapsed now that all the traps are gone?
Yes, roll the d20.
15.
He is definitely going to set up an excavation around it and try and get all of the items out at some point. It's probably not going to happen for the next couple of months, but he wants the Explorers Guild to have access to these, but with no curses.
As soon as I know this, I look at Rage and start doing like the, like the eyes thing
side
that women
eyes.
just know about. Like.
I do it back. Mm-hmm.
Billy, do you understand what Rage is trying to communicate to you?
No,
No.
I just I turn to her and I say our secret code word, which is it's time to pull the slug out of your butthole.
How loud do you say that?
Just at like a normal level, just like in conversation kind of level, just like
All right,
casually.
fine. I
Harold
stand up
leans
and
forward.
I start to unbutton my trousers.
Harold leans forward. I don't know what you got up to down there, but here's some payment. He simply hands you a small sachet of gold coins. He hands them to you, Callum, because he thinks you're probably the most reliable with them.
I take them, thank you very much. It's been an adventure, but I appreciate the
It
payment.
has. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time, possibly a couple of months, this place will be dead and buried, and no one will ever have to deal with the dangers that lie down there ever again.
I want to lead him off for a silent talk to let these two do their work with the collapsing.
Silent talk.
You
Yeah.
can if you want, but there are about 20 members of the Explorers Guild around the place now. There's more tents set up, there's more camps set up, and there's more supplies being trundled in on carts. They're almost building this as a mobile HQ for a bit. They're going to be going down and investigating these items for a while. There's no way you could be stealthy with this.
So I very loudly yell, "Oh my god, look! A cursed pair of socks wandering off into the woods!"
Roll a d20.
That's not a 20, that is an 8. Hang on. That's an 11.
No, there aren't.
No, you're right, there's not. My
There
mistake.
aren't. You see. Right, well, you can leave if you want. Billy, you understand his thoughts a bit more. Taking the first cursed item from this catacomb was a mistake. It was a bit of a fluke, if you will. And they knew that if they put it back and tried to take more, the traps would effectively stop them again and again and again and again and again. And whoever owns these cursed items is going to die. He wants them, but he knows that they must all be put back together and then all be slowly cleansed in the same room at the same time. He has writings and issues on this. He has historical documents he's found about these objects. He knew way more about them than he was telling you. He just knew that if they were all put together, then he would be able to work on them, collectively changing the magic within them.
Does he have bad intentions with them?
He wants to get rich from them, and he wants to get incredibly powerful with them. But he's not evil.
Okay, well then in that case, I will just be very, very friendly to him, and just thank him so much for all of the journey together. And actually, because I'm a sorceress, I am very invested in the journey of what happens with these magical items, and I would like to be kept informed of any doings with them in the future.
He tells you, oh, of course, I mean, we're going to collapse the place. As you know, that's already the plan. But if anything does happen, I'll let you know.
I slip him my magical business card, which has my pigeon information so that he
How
can
do you do that,
send
Billy?
me
Describe
messages.
describe this. Describe how you slip him a magical business card with your. I'm guessing what you meant was address, not pigeon information.
No, he has to send a specific pigeon.
He has to send for a pigeon.
Billy
What's
pigeon.
the pigeon information, Billy?
Okay, well, my pigeon is called Gerald, and he sends me information from all across the world whenever it comes to him, basically.
And how does Harold get access to Gerald?
Okay, well, I kind of that's why he needs a business card. So I kind of like slip nothing out of my sleeve, but then suddenly there's like a little mirage of like a little card, and he'll be able to keep it. It's not an actual object, but he'll be able to look at it whenever he wants to, and it just has where to find the localist pigeonhole of where to be able to send my pigeon to.
Where to find the localist pigeonhole to you?
Yeah, they're a bit. They don't have the funds that they used to, so a lot of the branches are closing.
They've got some strikes at the moment.
Yeah, they've got some strikes at the moment, but I would really like to be informed about this, and in fact, I would like to come and maybe spend some time at the Explorers Guild if they have any other magical items to maybe learn from.
Did you mean the pun when you said the branches are closing?
Yes.
That was excellent. Rage, how are you feeling now you've lost the Minotaur?
I've had a bad day, not gonna lie. I've been thrown around by Daddy, not in the way that I want to. Then he disappeared. It's just like a regular Friday night, to be honest. Not great. Not great. Didn't get paid.
Yes,
Didn't
you
find
did.
a man. I didn't get paid. Where's the money?
We don't
Callum
trust
was
you
given
with the money.
for all of you.
Which
You have the money?
Look, I definitely will not spend it on hookers and other things. That's a promise. Or alcohol as well. I mean, I may spend some on alcohol, but no hookers, I promise.
Billy, how are you feeling now that you may have made a contact with the Explorers Guild?
I feel pretty good about it. Sometimes you just got to know when to smooth and lose. So I'm taking this one on the hit because I'm thinking maybe he will come in handy later on once he has this riches and power. I want to be friends with that guy.
Now, you don't actually know that they found the cloak in this place. You know that they've put it back in this place. But you never saw them take it out. This may have been a case of Harold slowly but surely over time collecting a hell of a lot of evil items and storing them where he knows they need to be, and when they were all finally put together, the traps effectively started, because no one should be able to put them together and then get out with all of them. There's definitely some magical power about this specific place, and the items need to be here for what Harold's ultimate plan is, but you don't fully know what that is yet, or understand it. But you will return to Harold and his Explorers Guild and his collection of magical powerful items over the next couple of months. You've been paid. You can head back to Baragost, and you can finally go to the inn that you wanted to go to. Rage. You may not have found the man that you wanted, but you didn't beat a Minotaur in a fight. You got slammed into the ceiling and the thing crumbled to dust. How do you feel about it, though?
Bruised. Physically and mentally.
Billy, you were able to, through clever use of watching the acid splash from your own attack burn the bricks away, find a secret room that contained the magical trap controlling device and destroy it.
I'm feeling really good about it, but I feel really guilty about Rage. So when we go to the Spunky Bucket, I wingman her and try to get her a date.
Callum,
Yes.
you've been paid. You've been
We
thrown
have.
against a wall by a Minotaur,
Yeah.
but you have been paid. How do you feel about it?
To be honest, we've done worse things for less money. So I'm fine with this. We've actually been paid this time, which is this was our goal, right? Do the work and actually get paid regardless of the work. So I'm happy.
Drinks on you.
Yes.
You have finally managed to complete a job for an external employer and get paid. You don't know what the Explorers Guild or Harold's aims are with any of these items, but you know that you can come back and double check as and when you need to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for the Return the Cloaks of the Firewine Bridge Under the Ground adventure. Rage, where can people find old episodes of Session Zero?
On our YouTube channel, Session Zero. If you click that link that's in the chat, it'll take you to a link tree which links you to your YouTube. And we're also on Spotify if you prefer to listen to episodes.
Fantastic. Billy, we're also on social media in general. How's the Twitter?
It's really fun. You need to come and hang out because we've got some really cool stuff planned for
Definitely.
Twitter. So come over there and cause some chaos.
And Callum, you are going to be looking at the technical behind-the-scenes stuff, such as the dice trays and the numbers and the sliding health bars.
Yes.
And more stuff. What do you have planned for that, or is it a secret still?
So, actually, I'd like to hear your guys' feedback on what you think we're doing right, what you think we're doing wrong. And from a technical standpoint, I aim to get a lot of the kinks worked out. Not so much rage. But before next episode, I aim to get all this audio sorted out. So it's been a big move from, well, from Greg's massive setup of, like, NASA HQ to a single PC. So it's been a learning experience, but I aim to get it all sorted out for the next stream. So thank you for dealing with the annoyances at the start of this.
We are still working out the best way to technically do all the streams, and the adventures that you will all go on will eventually loop back round, and you'll discover that every character does have a place in a large overarching world. We look forward to seeing you next week when they will be going on another random zany adventure, and no one got killed this week apart from the Minotaur, which was very impressive. Anyway,
The Minotaur got killed. Justice
know.
for Danny Tor.
we will make up for it next week. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gents. We'll see you next week. Take care, good night, and God bless.
Bye.